Y'all, what's up? Your girl G here. Welcome back to my channel. What it do? What's up? Appreciate you for tuning in. I know this review is coming a little bit late, so I just want to go ahead and do kind of like a quick recap of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I know I'm a little bit behind on that. I don't know what it is. When it comes to Saturday and Sundays, I always get a little bit behind for some reason. So I'm going to try and do a quick recap of this episode so I can do Martha's Vineyard because I missed last week. So I'm back over here by the bed. Y'all know what it is. I moved my room around. Your girl trying to get a new feng shui up in here, and then y'all just ignore those little post-its back there. That's my little affirmations. I write them down on the post-its. If y'all ain't doing the affirmations, okay, get with it. All right, you know, therapy and affirmations and, meditation, it works for you people, get you in a right, good mindset. So if you aren't working on your mental health, work on it, all right? Those are my affirmations behind me. So y'all just ignore it. But your girl's out here working to become a better self, be a better human being. If you ain't out here trying to get better, what are you doing? But yeah, here's one person not trying to get better. Marlo Hampton. Marlo Hampton literally came on this season with the opportunity to correct what she did last season. She came on way too strong last season. And we're like, okay, Marlo, we'll give you that one F up. We trying to root for you, girl. We were all rooting for you. But then you come back again this season with the bull. Again, Marlo, really again. She has it out for Kandi. And if Kenya, all these women that she views as, maybe on a pedestal above them, and the minute they don't accept her, she immediately goes into like spitting venom. And I think as Marlo, you want to keep saying you're doing this. Oh, I'm, talking to a life coach. You need more than a life coach. You need somebody with a little bit of, psychotherapy analysis, in their degree, okay? Because there's some things going on with you and you're constantly projecting on other women, and then you're getting upset when they don't want to hang out with you, but you literally just try to drag them down to the pits of hell. Like, it don't work that way. But nonetheless, you guys, let's go ahead and get to the episode. So we open up, I think, with Drew and Ralph, if I'm not mistaken. Drew, she's in her kitchen, and she's, I guess that's her assistant, if I'm not mistaken. She was like, yeah, girl, I did my music video, I was so nervous, but I'm just, I'm getting ready to, and I can dance. She's like, I still got my 8 counts. Like, of all the housewives, like, I'm not gonna put too much on Drew. Like, she did a little yang, she was able to get a little body roll in it a little bit. And so she says, Alexa, play Drew Sidora Already Know. And then it plays something else. And I said, oh, Lord, Jesus, don't do it. Don't let Alexa come out here and shade the dog out of Drew and not know her song. But eventually it played the song. It was just that she said it in the wrong order. She was a little rusty at first, but she starts in the choreography for her friend. Ralph comes in and they start talking about the conversation of her sister, kind of getting back into a better mental health, back into a better mental, headspace. And this is where we learn there's a beef between Drew's sister, who actually previously was her manager, aka like a second mama to her. And, she was her manager for a while until she realized, it was just too much on her plate, especially during COVID. I think COVID for a lot of people made them realize, like, I'm not okay. I really need to fix some things, or I'm not happy and I really need to change that. Or, I think COVID was just really a big eye opener for a lot of people because there was nothing left to do but sit with yourself. And if you don't know how to sit with yourself and, know how to be in your own solitude, that means there's some disturbance going on in there. That's something I learned. If you don't know how to sit by yourself and in your solitude, that means something's disturbing your spirit, and you really need to go figure that out. As humans, like, especially just in general, men and women, and we do it in different ways, but we try to, fill the holes with other things, relationships, sex, like a whole bunch of stuff, drugs, alcohol. Like, we try to fill those holes, those voids with other things. And then until you realize, like, no, until I work on what's, boggling me down, you're still going to keep getting the same result. Catch. But nonetheless, Ralph comes in, she talks to her. Hold on, y'all. Sorry, I'm moving this around. I really need to get me like one of those, phone holders or whatever. I said I was going to, so my wrist don't be hurting when I hold the phone. Sorry, y'all. Just wait a second. Okay, here we go. So yeah, she's talking and she's like, yeah, I want her to come. She's you know, there was a flashback basically of her kind of crying and feeling like she's kind of missed so much of Drew's life. Come to find out, Ralph banned her from the crib. She hasn't been there like two and a half years or something like that. And so now Ralph's talking about, oh, you know, I just, you know, you're just giving something that now I really have to process because, you know, she said some really, you know, just hurtful, damaging things. Then he get in the confessional talking about, oh, you know, the sister, she really kind of took a toll on me and, you know, was kind of a thorn in our side of the relationship because she was accusing me of such horrible things like being manipulative and controlling. I said, the same thing us viewers called out when we first saw Drew and Ralph's relationship. Come to find out, the sister called that shit out years ago. See, dots are connecting, and it's not looking good for you, Ralphie boy. The fact that we're finding out the sister was calling this out way before we got to see y'all's relationship as viewers says a lot. And it's not surprising that he banned her from the house, because there's one thing we learned that is in the MO, is literally like Masterclass 101. When men particularly want to be controlling or possessive, they seclude the woman that they're with from friends, partners, you know, family even. And so he don't want the sister to come around because she's clocked, okay? Clocked his ass, point blank period. So it really don't surprise me. But now to see that Drew and Ralph are getting a divorce, I wonder if the sister now being back in her life kind of played a part in it. Because I know they were bumping heads when Drew was talking about, oh, she was my manager. I could imagine Ralph being her husband, her man, and the sister being the manager, you know, managing Drew's, you know, life, career, everything. I'm sure he wanted to put his little 2 cents in, like he was, like he rocked. And what's the other one? Is it Letitia from Escape? Yeah, you know, it's giving easy because they love to just jump it on and control some shit, and you ain't even got control of your own stuff. But moving on, Ralph said he gonna have to think about it. She was like, well, you know, as long as we're good first, and I guess, you know, doing what a good wife do, you make sure your relationship is good first, but you make sure, just because, like, yeah, you might be good on the front end, but what's really going on the back end that y'all are ignoring? And that's clearly what was going on in Ralph's relationship. Y'all was trying to be good on the front end, but on the back end, y'all wasn't really handling the shit that y'all needed to handle for y'all's relationship to actually genuinely be good instead of acting like it's good. So moving on, I really am trying to remember, because I watched this episode maybe like once and a half, so if I missed something, I apologize. But I think next we see Marlo. She was talking to, I guess, like one of the founders. Y'all know she does a thing for the foster girls, calls it like Glam It Up or something like that. Ooh, the color just kind of changed. Did something have going on outside, or was that my camera? I'm sorry, y'all, if the lighting got weird right here. But she does that whole Glam It Up thing, which I appreciate, you know, girls in the foster care system. Marlo, that was something that she, you know, she said fashion kind of was an outlet for her. And I enjoy that she, you know, allows the girls to feel spoiled for a little bit. And I love that idea, but I also don't want that to be the only thing that she kind of teaches these girls. And because what Marlo did was use fashion as the thing to fill her void. Yeah, you love the labels and the name brand and it makes you feel like you belong, but are you genuinely working on your issues? Because the foster care system is a bitch, point blank period. And it leaves a lot of scars and trauma on, you know, individuals. My mom, she was in the foster care system, and just in general, like, it's just a shitty, it's just, the whole system of it all is just rank. And so it leaves a lot of kids with, you know, things they have to work on. And I just don't want, I love Marlo's idea of like letting these girls feel special, but I just don't want that to be the only thing that she teaches these girls, is what I'm trying to say. So Sanya comes in, she basically, you know, wants to come on and brag about, you know, Mommy Nation being on belt, you know, good for Sanya. But girl, where Ross at? That's what we want to know. Where Ross at? Why is Ross always in Austin, but you talking about y'all want another baby? What it's looking like is Ross, what these niggas always do is like, I'ma just run away. Run away, love. Like Mary J. Blige. And you working on this so-called business that's booming, but you can't bring it to Atlanta. It's booming, but you ain't figured out how to bring it to Atlanta yet? Okay. I feel like Ross is working on that for play. Like, I don't know how I feel about if this business is really booming like that. It could be, which it could be, y'all. I could just be, you know, a little pessimistic in this moment, but I'm just kind of going off of the reality of what we see most of the time, you know, majority of the time with these nukes. So yeah, Sanya's talking to Marlo, and Sanya, girl, don't you just hate when heifers pick the wrong team? When they come on and pick the wrong team, they go about the wrong way. Like, it's like, girl, this is not the side you want to be on. I think she's picking to be on Marlo's side because, like, she is, you know, the most recent girl, like, kind of with the, I don't want to say publicity of Real Housewives of Atlanta, but nonetheless, like, Marlo's kind of bringing a air of, you know, like, this is where the attention is going to be on the season, which is, you know, Marlo. So Sanya wants to hang around Marlo, but it's like, you're going about it wrong, girl. Like, Marlo be wrong at half the time, and you're like, yeah, you kind of low-key called it out, like, oh, you know, Marlo, but you put it on the other girls. You're like, yeah, Marlo, those other girls just bring the old one out of you. I don't know how they can't see the new Marlo. I love who you are. Why, you know, they don't get to see the Marlo that I get to see. And it's like, no, they did see that Marlo. They absolutely, they've known this girl way longer than you, girl. Kandi has known Marlo since like mid-development. You know, she got history with Marlo. So, you know, the fact that they're saying these things about her or experienced these things with her, you gotta understand that there's some validity to that, Sanya. But, you know, you're gonna have to learn on your own. You know that maybe Marlo isn't always to be trusted. Yeah, you get the soft Marlo, but when the bitch decides she want to flip on you, don't be mad when she start talking hot cash money shit about your family and relationship, because that is Sanya's Marlo's go-to, okay? Just, yeah, she good right now, and it's, oh, you know, Marlo's sweet this, Marlo's sweet that. But when she flip a script, Sanya, don't be coming back to Kandi and Kenya running with your tail tucked like, oh, I can't believe I didn't see the signs. Shut up. No, you did, but you was trying to go where the clout was at. You was trying to do anything for clout. That's the clout running looking ass. You run into the clout. But yeah, Marlo's like, well, no, that's why I disagree with you, because, you know, I don't go down there. You know, when Kandi sat there and told me, oh, F her and them flowers, what I took it as her saying was, you know, F my nephew and our family. You see the manipulation? Do you see the manipulation? When Kandi said F them flowers, which is F them flowers and the expectation that you were trying to put on me, and then trying to be sneaky about the shade and come, like, be, you know, really fake about the whole situation. That's what Kandi was saying. Not saying F your nephew. And that's what Marlo does, like, in always trying to make herself the victim. You know, I think also, too, in life, there is this thing of, like, when you have been victimized or you've just suffered things in life, you know, been the victim of things, you kind of almost put yourself in that role all the time, because that's the only role that you are familiar with. If you haven't gotten over the trauma, you feel like you'll always live in the victim role of, like, why is everything happening to me? You know, why is everything in my life going wrong? And it's like, you have to ask yourself at some point, like, things going wrong in my life, why is everything happening to me? Am I playing a part in that? And Marlo, you sure as hell are playing a part in a lot of the shit. You talking about these girls that mean to you, they only want to see your past. You know, they don't want to see you be the new Marlo. But, like, girl, you literally just was coming at Kenya. You was coming at Kandi, but then want to be, like, nice and shake their hand after that. And then you want them to forget the nasty shit that you said. Like, you're literally coming for Kandi's business. But you want to be friends with her. Like, it's ass backwards. You hustling backwards, Marlo. But nonetheless, she tells Sanya that she got a date, y'all. She got a blind date. You know, this will be her first time. And, you know, Marlo, you know, for her, it's just, do you got the coin? Do you got the bag? Where the bag at? Okay, where is the bag? She said she's tired of people coming at her for dating, you know, old white men, you know, for being a part of the sugar daddy club. Marlo, we know you got a few old white men, sugar daddies, you know, that got to take a blue pill every now and again. We know that. But moving on. So Drew is doing her music video. No, actually, no. Kandi, real quick, we're going to knock out Kandi and Todd. So y'all know Todd is doing the movie, independent film called The Past. And Kandi is reading it. And basically, he wants to put Drew in the role. And Katie's like, you sure? He's like, yeah, you know, she's a good actress. You know, when I did this role, I just thought of Drew. And it was like, yeah, Drew's a good actor, but like, where are you trying to go with this movie? You know? And Kandi, he was trying to ask Kandi to be in it. But Kandi's like, I don't want to be typecast as the girl, you know, who started turning bitches out. Like, I don't want people to be known, be on me and feel like I'm known for that type of, you know, role. Because you don't, like, sometimes in the industry, you can get typecasted. But nonetheless, he's like, yeah, I pictured Drew for the role. I say, yeah, you pictured Drew for the role because, you know, you ain't gonna have to spend that ducat. You know, with this being an independent film, you know, Drew is gonna see it as an opportunity because Kandi do be giving out opportunities. I think this was kind of like, oh, you know, let me give, it's half, let me give Drew an opportunity, and a half, you know, we gonna save money. Yeah, that's what it is, because Todd takes shortcuts. I still ain't forgot, I'm so mad they canceled Kandi in the Game because of that shooting, essentially. But we learned that on Kandi in the Game, the restaurant be having these blackouts, essentially, where the power go out. And he's like, yeah, it's been doing this, you know, but it's, I don't want to spend money on a generator. He said, I would rather, you know, okay, every few times a month it go out for a couple hours and come back on than me just spend money on a generator. I said, that don't sound like a man making boss moves at all. Nigga, sound like a dude's cutting quarters. But yeah, no, so, Drew, is she gonna be in the movie? I don't know. I guess we'll see. So speaking of Drew, the sister comes in the middle of the night. Ralph is up in the room. She hugs Drew, loves on her, kisses her. She sees the house, is amazed. And basically, you know, she's going to be there for the music video the next day or whatever. So they go and they're doing the music video for Drew. It's giving real, you know, skate. I love kind of like the skater type music videos or whatever. But she's doing it. Of course, Kenya shading her. This kind of looked like a low budget, you know, Beyonce, you know, blow kind of video. And it kind of was. Like, the concept of skating for a music video is not new. The only thing I'm confused about is how does that correlate to what the song is. The song is Don't Gotta Ask Me Whose Is It when we switch in positions, because you already know what they got to do with skating. That was my thing. Like, what they got to do with skating is the only thing I'm thinking. But nonetheless, and then y'all see Ralph was still the love interest though, because she got to put him in there because she feel indebted to her man, because as much as he don't want to be around her, he wanted to still be in it. And then another thing too that I thought was very telling and kind of low-key manipulative, where he was like, oh, well, if your sister, you know, comes, then I might not be around. Like, I might not be around as much. And it's kind of like, why are you trying to, like, already make a whole distance? You know, like, it's kind of giving you, it's giving real making excuses to not be around. We already don't know where your ass was at in Florida for 3 days. Like, he don't want to be around. So then the sister, she's seeing, crying. Ralph, he sees her and he just gives her a hug, and she's breaking down. She's like, this was my dream. You know, remember I told you about that dream? And she was skating. She's like, I'm just so glad to be here. Drew walks up to her. She's like, oh my God, why are you crying? She's like, I'm just so proud of you. And Drew's like happy that her and Ralph are kind of like, you know, good or whatever. And, you know, it was a cute little yang. But in the midst of the video, we see the scene where Marlo is getting ready to go on her blind date. And she, you know, is talking to Sanya, and she's like, yeah, you know, I'm just excited. And Sanya's just like, you know, don't have no expectations, just go in, have fun, yada yada. She's like, yeah, girl, where you at? She's like, I'm over here at Drew's music video. And she was like, well, I didn't get no invite. And so she's like, let me call Drew that fake ass heifer. She talking mad cash money shit. And then when Drew pick up the phone and talk about, hey, beautiful, I said, what? You calling Drew fake? What is that? Like, you literally just talked all that mad shit. And then when she pick up the phone, talk about, hey, miss me. So she talking to Drew. And so Drew basically said, yeah, I'm working on my music video. She's like, oh my God, I'm going on a date. She's like, I just want to call, you know, and talk or whatever. And Drew basically lets her know, like, I feel some type of way about how you basically cussed me out. And Marlo tried to pull the, I didn't know you were upset. See, that's the thing, Marlo. You be doing shit to people and then try to, like, put a Band-Aid on it. You stab people and then pun intended, you stab people and then be wanting to put a band-aid over the wound like, oh my God, I didn't know you was bleeding that much. The fuck? Like, what do you mean? So Drew basically was like, yeah. And so Marlo was like, yeah, you know, I'm just sorry. You know, I just really didn't even know I was triggered like that. And, you know, I shouldn't have took it out on you. And I do apologize. You know, she acknowledged it once or twice. But Drew was still trying to keep going. She's like, well, no, that's just not it, Marlo. You know, I really feel like just you as a friend hasn't been there. And Marlo hang up the phone on Drew. And she's like, man, girl, shut up. And basically hang up the phone and start going off. When I tell you started going off, man, Drew, you nothing but a, you know, low-grade wannabe actress, bad body built like a refrigerator, back wide, got this wide-ass bike. You got a man that don't even want you. He want a voluptuous woman. She's like, what is it? And the driver's like, voluptuous. She's like, yeah, voluptuous. Like, girl, your ignorant ass don't even know how to, you trying to talk shit, can't even spell voluptuous. Going in on Drew, call her a bad body. You know, she built like a square, like a rectangle, like a Frigidaire. Like, she was going in. And it's like, it's amazing how you call people fake. Get off the phone with the girl that you call fake and then do that. But you want somebody to be friends with you? It don't make any sense, Marlo. She go on the date, walk in, dude got a bunch of roses. You know, it was cute. Come to find out, it was his spot. You know, he was cute, just had little, you know, small teeth, kind of look like an older hitman holla. Come to find out, he got 3 kids. And when he said 15, I was like, okay, because he's like 39. So when he said 15, I was like, okay. Then he said 2. And then the kicker was, he said 1. I said, nope, no. Because if 1 is 2 and 1 is 1, first of all, are they by the same woman? The 2-year-old and the 1-year-old? Well, no, they can't be by the same woman. Or can they? Yeah, they can be. Like, basically, she got pregnant back to back, essentially. So, you know, it could be the same woman, but looking at him, it's giving real. These are 2 different women that was fucking at the same time. That's what it's giving. And you can't, this she's like, like, she's like, I usually don't want a man, you know, with kids under 5, but, you know, he cute. And they were doing, like, the little bar on the side, like, rating him. But, you know, the date was cute. Kind of fine. She's like, you got any secrets? And he was like, you know, I've been arrested a couple times. She was like, me too. You know, she's like, he was like, yeah, 6 months was no longer. So she was like, oh my God, we're twins. He definitely was looking to, you know, either get hit or, you know, he gonna play Marlo. Like, Marlo, is she gonna be with him? I don't know. I don't think so. Not for the long haul. But is she gonna turn him to a little, you know, sneaky link? Maybe. I wouldn't be mad at Marlo for that. Like, if you want to be a sneaky link with him, go ahead. But a relationship, no, boo-boo. Y'all might have had cute little jokey chemistry. He talking about, oh, I want to see you suck the shrimp. And you thought you was making a joke. Nah, he was being serious. Niggas love trying to joke about sex and stuff. I'm just playing. Nah, nigga, you was being serious. So last but not least, Kandi go to see Sheree. Sheree is upset about her, about how she was talking shit about, you know, or throwing shade about she by Sheree. Because, you know, she was basically talking to her little producer or whatever, or her, like, I guess, project manager or whatnot about her website and the outfits being up and everything like that. And they kind of backlogged, and also she ain't making no profit. So, you know, Marlo is trying to do too much. Not Marlo. Sheree is trying to do too much at one time. You did this fashion show, and it's like, just start off with joggers, t-shirts, shorts, and a shirt. Like, start off there. But the problem is she's trying to have all of these, you know, outfits, and you can't do it like that, Sheree. Like, you doing it wrong, and you don't want to accept no help. And another thing is, you don't want to spend no damn money. You're doing it cheap, but then having to, you know, pay again on the back end because the cheap shit that you're doing is falling apart. So she called Kandi up. They sit down, and she basically is mad at Kandi for, you know, kind of being shady on Speak On It. She was like, how could you say something about me like that? You know, went to your restaurant, brought 12 people. Our food, you know, took 3 hours. And, you know, the stuff that we wanted, y'all didn't even have. You know, Kandi's like, well, like, I got a restaurant. She was like, there's so much thing I could have said about you. Y'all was failing. Y'all didn't make y'all's ratings. And Kandi's like, well, shit, at least we paid. Like, we went back and passed them. She's like, well, did you even buy anything? She by Sheree. She was like, well, is it up on your website? Like, you know, everybody tried to buy Sheree, but the website was saying, sorry, out of business. And you giving this BS excuse of, oh, well, you know, we couldn't reach him on Sunday, but then, you know, everybody was getting kicked out on the back end, but then we tried to send this to the, just excuses because you want to be cheap. Kandi and her was trading licks back and forth though, y'all. Trading licks, low key. Sheree hit him with the, well, I wouldn't did about you, you know. I wouldn't talk about your restaurant, you know, your clothes that you can only wash once. Kandi's like, well, shit, at least you can get my clothes, you know. She's like, I used to own a boutique. Kandi's like, right, used to. Like, they was going back and forth. I was like, yikes. Kandi, I was like, why we even arguing in the first place? She was like, I'm just trying to say, we ain't even arguing, but like, Kandi, you see that you saying this stuff and this, you know, negative press and, you know, oh, how much could you do that to me if I'm your friend? And, you know, they ended up talking about, like, Kandi tried to help Sheree, point blank period, but I think Kandi was helping her and Sheree didn't want it. At first, it was like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I want to be different than everybody else. But then you realize how expensive it is doing it on your own, that you tried to backtrack and do what Kandi said, which was just, you know, basically put your label on the designs. Like, that's literally all you had to do. But you tried to be fancy and try to like be all these things that you weren't, and also some things that your money could not keep up with. And then you backtrack and then try to put your shit on Shein, and then you get called out for it and then want to get mad at Kandi. When Kandi was like, you should have did that first. Well, why are you trying to make it seem like a negative thing? All the fashion people do it. She's like, I know. I tried to tell you, but you didn't want to listen. Like, she's like, well, I don't go to you for music advice, or like, you don't come to me for music advice, so like, I'm not going to come to you for fashion. And it's like, Sheree, it's not fashion advice, bitch. It's business advice. And Kandi got businesses that are profiting. Like, bitch, are you profiting yet? No. So you were trying to be hard-headed. You thought you was going, like, upstage Kandi. As you say, like, we do drops. Like, all the stuff, it's not released at once. It's drops. Even if that is so, you still ain't even completed the first drop is what we're trying to get at. Kandi can't support you and buy your shit because it's not up for sale. You talking about, oh, well, it was up 2 months ago. Is it? Is it, Sheree? Really? So they like basically stopped arguing, and Kandi's like, I wasn't trying to come here to argue with you. She said, well, she's like, I apologize, you know, I shouldn't have did that, you know, if it hurt your feelings, my bad. And then they walk away, and that was the end of the episode. So you guys, overall, Housewives of Atlanta, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just ready for new people. We've gone through Kenya, we've gone through Marlo, we've gone through, you know, Kandi. Like, I'm just ready for new people. Y'all drop in the comments, is that how y'all feel too? Or y'all feel like there's more to be discovered? I appreciate y'all for tuning in, and I'll catch you later.